Jack Smith, that's where we start today. It's been confirmed that the former special counsel monitored the private phone calls and communications of nearly a dozen Republican senators as part of his investigation of the January 6th Capitol riots. A document recently discovered by FBI Director Kash Patel shows that Smith and his Arctic Frost team tracked 11 senators and a member of Congress, making 12 in all, including some who have been on this program, including Senator Ron Johnson and Senator Marsha Blackburn. The document names the case ID as Arctic Frost Election Law Matters, Sensitive Investigative Matter, or CAST. The FBI has also reported that Smith and his team tracking the senators were able to see the phone numbers they called, the location the call originated from, and the location it was received, and I would guess the number it went to. Kash Patel now reportedly firing members of the FBI who were involved with this spying on Republican senators. It's an important development. Look, if the FBI has been weaponized to a point that they are spying on Republicans as part of Arctic Frost under the direction of Jack Smith, it is remarkable behavior. I'd like to say I'm shocked, but I'm not. Here with me to discuss this is one of those targeted senators, Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. Senator, thank you for being here.
Well, Steve, listen, I've been investigating the FBI now for about a decade, and I wish I could say I was surprised. I'm not surprised. I am shocked. I think you're shocked as well. You're not surprised. Every American should be outraged by this clear violation of the separation of powers. And the cavalier attitude obviously engaged in by the Biden FBI and Department of Justice in obtaining these records. It is outrageous.
The hypocrisy, sir. You have the Democrats and their colleagues in the mainstream media day after day talking about the Trump administration, Republicans weaponizing the government, weaponizing the intelligence community, and yet time and time again, here we are discussing how the Biden administration, and actually dating all the way back to the Obama administration, targeted Donald Trump in his first term, targeted Donald Trump and those in his inner circle for years afterwards, and now targeting you and your colleagues. What should happen?
Well, first of all, it's not the first time I've been targeted. With their Foreign Influence Task Force, as Chuck Grassley and I were engaged in our investigation to Hunter Biden, his laptop, we were provided an unsolicited briefing in August of 2020 where the FBI basically said, there's going to be some matters brought before you that don't believe them, about somebody related to Biden. Don't believe them. In other words, they were preempting the disclosure of the Hunter Biden laptop to throw us off the trail. And so that's election interference right there. And by the way, that secure briefing they later leaked in May of 2021 to smear me prior to my 2022 reelection. So again, this has been going on for a long time. That's why it doesn't surprise me. It's important to note the timeline here. In August of 2022, that's when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. Then they hired Jack Smith. In the following year, I think August 2022, Jack Smith announced the indictments against Trump. This is about a month later. So they've already raided Mar-a-Lago. They've already indicted Donald Trump. Now they go on a fishing expedition of 7 members of Congress. And the way they circumvented the normal rigorous approval process is they said, well, they're not targets or the subject to our investigation. So, judge, grand jury, but let's issue an administrative subpoena. Let's go mine these records. And that's what they did. And what's interesting about further timeline is the Deputy Attorney General, Lisa Monaco, about a month later, all of a sudden changed the Department of Justice guidelines in terms of how you obtain these kind of information on a member of Congress. So I can infer from that eventually that reached the level the Department of Justice, they realized, oh, Houston, we've got a problem here. Let's cover our tracks. But again, what we need to know is who all knew, when did they know it? When if Lisa Monaco found out about this or higher ups found out about it, why didn't they notify us then? Senator Grassley and I, we've been requesting these records from the FBI for years. And it's also important to note that this didn't come through some internal investigation. These aren't like the leftist partisans in the FBI coming forward confessing their crimes. This just happened to be disclosed when the agent who got these records was reapplying to get recertified as a member of this cellular analyst survey team. And basically, it's a brag sheet. This is a list of accomplishments. Oh yeah, I should be researched. Look at what I did, in a previous administration.
Absolutely,
it's outrageous.
So here it is. This is a cellular analysis survey team. That's the CAST team. Look, sir, when I sit here and I hear that they know where the call came from, where it went, where it originated, where it was received, why would I sit here and have anything other than the belief that they were listening as well, monitoring you directly? Why wouldn't I believe that? We know that they monitored people like James Rosen in the media back during the Obama administration and others. Cheryl Atkinson comes to mind. Why wouldn't I believe they're monitoring beyond just your phones and your phone calls? How do we know they weren't in your computer system, looking at your emails and everything else? Because of their track record, all of this has to be on the table.
I would say nothing would surprise me, but this was a pretty narrow request here from January 4th through January 7th in 2021. It's just the records of who was called, date, time, place, and length of call. So it's what we generally refer to as metadata. So no content is what we're being told. But again, put this in context of the corruption. In terms of my investigations of James Comey's, his exoneration memo being edited to pull out any kind of criminal element, the whole Russian collusion hoax, what everybody knew, Obama, Brennan, all these people knew that was a hoax, and yet they allowed the Mueller investigation to go through. I mean, the extent to which Obama, Biden, all the merry band of radical leftists that served and supported them, the extent that they interfered in our election, the turmoil, the political turmoil they have put this nation through, that group, and I will say, that group of criminals, Russia and China, in their dreams, they couldn't dream of interfering and creating this much political destruction in America. That's what Obama, Biden, and their merry cast of radical leftists have wrought on this country.